Hello and welcome to Knit in the Womb Designs, where we do all of your left-handed knitting tutorials. This week we are going to do an Italian cast on. So we've done an Italian bind off before. So this week we're doing an Italian cast on. So we have a matching cast on and bind off. Why would you want matching cast off and bind on? If you're doing something, say like a piece ear warmer where the bind off and cast on are really close to each other, then you're going to want them to match, right? So let's get started. You're going to take your yarn and you're going to need a long tail, just like you would do, long tail cast on, right? So you're going to put it over your index finger, under your thumb, over your thumb. And I just hold it like this, okay? Making sure that your tail comes off of your thumb and your working yarn comes from over your index finger, okay? So you're going to take your needle. Now I'm doing this in the round this time, okay? You're going to take your needle from your hand out towards where the open space, right? Right to left. You're going to twist clockwise so that your index finger yarn is over your thumb finger yarn. This does not count as a stitch, and you'll see why at the end. This is how we're going to join in the round later. All right, so let's get started on actually making our stitches. So you're going to go under your thumb, over your index. You're going to pull the loop up, back under the thumb, over and under the index. Pick up a loop by going over the thumb and come back out under the index. Okay? So those are your first two stitches. I'm going to do it slow again for you. Over, under, thumb. Over, index, pull a loop up, under, thumb. Over, under, index. Over, thumb, pull a loop up, under, index. Okay? I'll do another one nice and slow for you so you can see. Okay, so now we're going to move to, when you really get this, you can really move to a kind of a nice rhythm, okay? So it moves into this nice rhythm as you go. I'm not counting stitches right now. We're just going to make an undetermined amount, but you're going to do this for as many stitches as you need to for your hat, ear warmer, mittens, gloves, socks even. Some people will use these for socks if they want really pretty socks. Doesn't matter, okay? All right. I'm going to give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay, so we finished that. So we're going to spread them out over the needle. I'm going to try really hard to not twist them, right? Because we don't want twisted stitches when we're don't get back here, knitting in the round. So this is your first twisty stitch that we first did, that twist that we put it on the needle. We're just going to take that and put that on the end, okay, of the round. Because on the second setup round, we're actually going to purl these two together, and that's how we join in the round. So round one, this is your setup round still. So we're going to knit the first stitch, bring the yarn forward, slip the second stitch, and put the yarn back. Now we know as you go, maybe things may look a little confusing, all right? So you know this is a knit stitch because look at the stitch is open. So you're going to knit the next stitch. And then we know this is a purl stitch because look, now the stitch is closed. So with yarn forward, you're going to purl that stitch. Knit, yarn forward, slip the purl. Knit, yarn forward, slip the purl. Okay, we're going to finish that all the way around and I'll show you the next one. So we are back to the end, and this is our last little purl stitch here. So we're going to actually slip them both together, right? Now we're going to do our next setup round. This is setup round number 2. And once we finish setup round number 2, we're done and we can move on to knitting, okay? So setup round number 2 is you're gonna, with yarn in back, slip your knit stitch and then purl the purl stitch. Put your yarn back, slip the knit stitch, and then purl the purl stitch. Now I find I have to purl through the back loop because that's just the way the loops fall. You can, when you slip the purl stitch, slip them purlwise so that you don't have to do that anymore. But I just like to slip them the other way. So I'm gonna purl that one, slip. See, if I had slipped it purlwise, it would have been twisted properly. But I just slipped it knitwise. So I like to slip it knitwise because it's just faster and easier. So we're gonna slip the knit stitch, purl the purl stitch, right? And we're gonna do that all the way around. If you give me 1 second, I'll go all the way around and I will show you the very, very end. Okay, so we're now at the very last stitch. So we're gonna come forward and you've got your twist from the beginning and your last purl stitch. So we are just gonna purl those two puppies together. If I can pull up the yarn, there we go. And, there we go. And that's that. Now you've done your 2 setup rows and you can complete your project from here. And that's how you do an Italian cast on. If this was helpful for you, please hit the like and subscribe button and send this to somebody that you think would help them also. Thank you so much and happy knitting.